Forget everything you think you know about Cleopatra's love life. Yes, history remembers Julius Caesar. Yes, it immortalizes Mark Antony. But what if I told you those were just the headlines? Beneath the surface lies a hidden story, a tapestry of alliances, forbidden unions, and whispered romances that shaped the fate of Egypt. This is Cleopatra, not as the seductress Hollywood sells us, but as a queen who used love, marriage, and even rumor as weapons in a deadly game of survival. To understand Cleopatra's hidden lovers, we must first confront the unsettling truth of her dynasty. The Ptolemies were no ordinary royals. They were rulers obsessed with keeping bloodlines pure. That meant siblings marrying siblings, and Cleopatra was no exception. She was forced to marry her younger brothers, first Ptolemy XIII, then later Ptolemy XIV. These weren't marriages of passion. They were survival tactics, a necessary performance for the throne. Behind the royal facade, Cleopatra was locked in a deadly rivalry with her own kin, where betrayal and poison lingered in every shadow. So when we talk about Cleopatra's lovers, we must remember some were chosen by the gods of politics, not the gods of love. But what about the whispers, the rumors that never made it into official scrolls? Some historians believe Cleopatra may have pursued, or at least entertained, strategic seductions with men like Herod the Great. Not for passion, not for romance, but for alliances. In a world where Egypt's survival hung by a thread, every smile, every gesture could be a weapon. A queen's bedchamber was not just private, it was political. Were there secret lovers in her inner circle? Advisors, generals, even foreign dignitaries? History gives us fragments, hints, possibilities, enough to know that Cleopatra was no stranger to using intimacy as diplomacy. And yet, Cleopatra's lost lovers may not have always been men of war or kings of empires. Some were men of words, philosophers, poets, scholars. Cleopatra was brilliant, fluent in multiple languages, educated in philosophy, astronomy, and politics. She surrounded herself with thinkers and dreamers. Could deeper bonds have formed? Could inspiration itself have been a kind of love story? Imagine the Queen of Egypt walking under the starlit skies of Alexandria, speaking with a philosopher about fate, about gods, about love. These connections may never have been written as romances, but they may have touched her heart more deeply than the politics of Antony or Caesar ever did. For all her power, Cleopatra was human. She laughed, she longed, she wept. Surrounded by enemies, manipulated by politics, did she ever crave love simply for love's sake? Behind the crown was a woman who carried the weight of a kingdom. Perhaps her true lost lovers were those whose names never reached history, those who offered her kindness in a world built on cruelty, those whose voices were drowned by the roar of empire. So, who were Cleopatra's real lovers? Her brothers forced upon her? Foreign kings lured by diplomacy? Scholars who lit her mind with fire? Or ghosts lost to history? What we know is this: Cleopatra's love life was not just romance, it was survival, strategy, and power. To see her only as Caesar's mistress or Antony's partner is to erase the complexity of her story. She was not just a seductress, she was a strategist, a survivor, a queen who turned every relationship, public or secret, into a weapon for her people. And that is the Cleopatra history tries to bury. If this story makes you question what you thought you knew about history, then join us here at Mystic Legacy Vault, where the past speaks and its secrets are never truly lost. Subscribe, share, and tell us in the comments, who do you think was Cleopatra's most powerful lost lover?